Hello and welcome. I'm Chris Philpott, and you may have seen some of my YouTube videos on YouTube before. But today I'm going to be talking about the NHS and social services in the UK. And this is a tribute to those services. They often get bad press, but I'm giving them good press. Gratitude is really important in life. Positive feedback. In 1983, I had a really bad motorcycle accident. It wasn't my fault, and it was a compound injury, compound fracture to the tibia and fibula. That meant that the bone came out from the flesh, so it was quite serious, and I was 5 weeks in hospital and 7 months off work. Yet I had fantastic surgeon, a fantastic care, and I've made a real recovery. I was 33 then. Fast forward to 2022, I'm now 71, and I've just had an accident getting on my bike where the ankle that was injured in the accident in 1983 gave way and I broke my hip. I'm going to go through the story of that. It's just happened to me. I was taken by ambulance and I had to wait 4 hours, but that didn't matter. The staff were wonderful. They were very busy at the emergency department, and I got an X-ray very quickly, which showed a fracture to the right femur. Because it was trauma, I was operated on the next day. But they didn't chuck me in an operating theatre. I had a consultation with the surgeon to explain why I needed this doing, a metal plate put on the leg, and I had a very nice conversation with an anaesthetist. And I was worried about the operation because it was an injection into the spine at the back. So they explained the risks and the benefits, and I had the operation. I was so touched that one of the student nurses from Coventry University wanted to see the operation. The operation took place at Warwick Hospital. So post-op, I had observation right way through for many hours that I was okay, had pain relief, and even the orthopedic surgeon came from the team to see how the operation went. Within days, I was given physio support by the staff there and occupational therapy as well. The ward experience, well, I just think the nurses and the training nurses of Coventry University were fantastic. I'll tell you why, because they're really stretched. There's shortages of staff, but no shortages of goodwill and incredible patience. So although you're vulnerable and you're laying on your back, you can't walk very much. You have to rely on pee bottles and to go to the toilet, have a poo. You're very, very vulnerable. I found utter friendliness and patience and professionalism from the nursing staff. Amazing. And the auxiliary nursing staff as well. So then I was prepared for home. I was in for a whole week, and I only got out in time because the occupational therapy department made sure that I had all things in place at home. I had to have a commode and sleep downstairs because I didn't have a downstairs toilet. So what was amazing is then the social services came into Warwickshire Social Services. They were wonderful in the re-enablement service, which deals with people to try and train them to wash and take care of themselves. My wife was quite stressed because it suddenly happened and she had to do so much. So they came morning and night to help me, train me to wash and look after myself. So that was a good start. I only used them for 3 weeks, but the occupational therapy was amazing. The lady in charge spent 2.5 hours explaining what they could do. They put up a plan to get a handrail put up so I can get up the stairs when I was better, and this was taking place cost free. I was given all the equipment I needed, a special cushion for the chair, a commode, all sorts of other equipment, getting into the shower, proper support, a little bench on the bath. All this was done by the occupational therapy department that were attached to the social services. Meanwhile, I had a physio training with a wonderful young physiotherapist, showed me exercises, came back and showed me the exercises that I could do. And, you know, I've made real pavement. It's 2 months or so, the operation. Instead of walking with crutches, I'm walking with a stick, and that's because of the support I've had and the encouragement to carry on with the exercises. I would say anybody who has this injury should do the exercises. So when I left hospital, my gratitude was overflowing. I talked to the consultant. He consulted with me and told me what to do and what to look out for, and all the sort of prognosis of what was going to happen. I saw, as I say, the OT staff, and I was so full of emotion that I almost cried when I left the orthopedic ward, out of deep gratitude that within a week I'd had a trauma operation and I was going home, and I was so pleased that I wasn't using a bed in the NHS hospital that would cost the NHS money. So what I'm saying is 2 things. One thing we need to do is to think about increasing the funding of social care. Firstly, so that people can go home from hospital and they're not blocking beds. Obviously, we need to put more money into the NHS. And I would say that instead of cutting taxes, we should increase taxes. Because, as in my case, twice over, I needed the NHS at a critical time of my life. And I'm happy to pay taxes forever for that care to be there. The other thing I would say is we don't want an ill health service. And having been to America and talked to people who have been treated under the NHS or not under the American system, I got off a container boat going to America, got out of Philadelphia, I didn't know which way to go, and a guy limping along with his knee said, I can't get my knee fixed, I'm living off my daughter, I can't get it because I haven't got Medicare stamps. We don't want that in this country, and there's rumours that the Americans, corporations, are rubbing their hands with glee of trying to take over parts of the NHS. We don't want that, because we don't want an ill health service for some and a really better service for the rich. We also don't want to spend 4 times as much money on a health service that we do, that the Americans do in the United States. So please, if you want your NHS, consider we can't just carry on paying taxes. All the expense of COVID and has to be paid for. We can't allow insipid intrusion by corporations into our health service so that they are making profit out of people's pain and ill health. thanks for listening, and if you ever use the NHS in UK or social services, rest assured you'll be well cared for. Thank you.